Chaps, there is never a time to pick Illidan first.
But
Simple.
I'm really good with that hero Tetcher.
At most second. And that is in a very rare scenario if your opener is an Abathur or something like that.
Fun fact, yesterday I had someone, more Illidan knowledge here for you guys, by the way. I had yesterday a player that picked Zagara into an Illidan. Not a good choice. He
do that.
will dominate you in lane later on. He will jump on you with the hunt every single time and most likely kill you. So if you're a Zagara main out there, save your pick and don't pick it first. Don't pick it into Illidan.
That's where you're wrong, Hendrik. I pick more, so when Illidan dives me, I more him.
Let's move on. Dancing,
Look,
man.
If mind control into Lambda the Slaughter is viable, then all of these things we previously mentioned could be viable.
Darn it, Dignitas. How dare you make all of our arguments invalid. Anyway, when was the last time we've seen a clean ace, a clean quintuple kill by one player? In Heroes of the Storm, that is very, very rare. So kudos to Dancing for showing us how it's done on the Hunt Zone.
It is cool to see, and it looks like we're going to have the A-Team going back to first pick again and giving BTG the map choice. They are taking us to the Towers of Doom.
Towers of Doom for the first time. Let's go. It's always a fun map to watch. We've seen the craziest of comebacks happen on this map when teams were already with their backs against the wall, but with good team fighting and strong coordination, they somehow made it. It's a good Medivh map as well. That might be worth a ban, or at least considering it for the A-Team.
There's the Maiev being removed, so this should result in a Genji ban by the A-Team.
Yeah, Genji, I mean, he's just such a beast in pro play, at least. And especially on this map where he can cut so many corners, where he can surprise you from so many angles. I'm not sure if you want to fight him here. No.
There goes the Genji. So that leaves Diablo, Yrel, probably not Yrel because BTG will wanna, so Diablo.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's by far one of his strongest maps. I still remember like it was yesterday during the last Western Clash, I think it was, when Breeze just showed us the first Western Clash, sorry, when he showed us what good players can do on a Diablo and Towers of Doom, slamming people into walls left, right, and center.
There's a Muradin, not a Diablo, obviously, but once again giving up Deckard Yrel, which I would not be surprised to just see the exact same opening picks as last time for BTG because it went really well.
Honestly, Tetcher, at this point, I mean, sure, you can definitely go that route. But I would also love to see BTG try out other heroes that they practice, because at the very latest during the playoffs, during international play at BlizzCon, if they were to qualify, if they don't step it up and widen their hero pool, they're going to get countered every single time and punished for it.
Very true. Very true indeed. This is why we are seeing the Reyna as the first pick here, along with Deckard, though. So Deckard's still pretty standard.
There it is!
And Illidan Abathur. That is an acceptable pick time. It's still early, but it's acceptable. You don't pick it first.
Yeah.
Very silly.
All right. It's a good battleground for Abathur. It's a solid partner for Illidan, that's for sure. These two are going to be best buddies for life. And although Abathur's win rate in China has been underwhelming so far, it is always one of those lucky punch duos that if you do not know how to handle it, they're going to take the victory. What are they going to ban here now? The Phoenix. All right. All right.
Because right now, the A-Team, their draft is pretty standard setup into a Abathur Illidan composition. So far, everything's synergized with the Abathur with a Spike Burst build, which is almost certainly what we will see. Supports-wise, they could easily fit this in to be a Rhaegar or something like that, and that would still be fine. Could maybe even try an Uther. Go for an old classic here.
And even if Illidan was nowhere to be found, for example, or if Illidan died, guess who still is a very, very good symbiote partner for Abathur? It is Muradin. He becomes nigh unkillable with the right build, with static healing, for example, healing static, sorry, and the stone skin at level 16. He becomes a menace while still doing respectable amounts of damage.
And now we see the Cassia blinds, very smart, very effective here, and ETC, the potential for either block party or that imposing presence, or both. in the later game, so that will be incredibly helpful. We're going to see Alex Straza as the heal, not a great hat target in terms of if we're going for that Spike Burst build, which will work on Illidan the best. Li Ming is actually okay, as she does get in melee mode pretty often due to the effectiveness of Calamity. So if there was a Spike Burst build, it would be good, but she would not benefit too much from, let's say, the burst builds from the Adrenal Overload. She can if she went for Charged or Cannoneer, for example, but that's still very rare. BTG finish up their draft with Arthas.
And if you thought ETC was your main tank, sorry, your offlaner, which we have seen him in many times in China, then you're dead wrong, because now things could actually turn out pretty well and pretty flexibly here for BTG. They could run two scenarios, right? ETC still becomes that offlaner and goes for stage dive, or Arthas does the same thing and lanes against Illidan, which normally an Arthas should have no problems in. Unless Abathur babysits Illidan 24/7. So very unpredictable and a very strong front line against Illidan. I love the draft, the adjusting draft coming in from BTG. By the same token, though, you can never discredit a composition like the one that the A-Team has fielded, because all it takes is one good team fight, and they're going to steamroll.
I'm looking at the A-Team's composition, and it looks like they want to fight.
Yeah.
And I don't think they should.
True.
Like, this draft could just as easily do some really good split push value. They've got great disengage tools with Wave of Force and the Dragon Queen. I think hashtag play the map could be a very effective strategy here for the A-Team.
I mean, as an Illidan player, you're basically saying, all right, I'm going to pick my poison right now. Do I want to get blinded, slowed, knocked back, or stunned? So I fully agree with you. I think they should definitely try to play the map a little bit more, use the hunt range on Illidan later to maybe find someone who's currently on rotation, who's currently isolatedly, but in a straight-up 5 versus 5 team fight, I think Beyond the Game has way too many good weapons to deal with what the A-Team has brought.
Might be right, but we're going to be finding out as we are heading into game number 2 of our 4th series of the day.
That is correct.
As we have on the left-hand side, currently 1-0 up Beyond the Game, with 619, LLK, Druid, Dancing, and Loktar.
Facing them with a very aggressive composition is the A-Team with LK, Olele, Bruiser, Stugos, and Yitzkuk. Now, how are they going to play this, the A-Team? I'm so interested in seeing how they're going to play this, how they're going to shape this up. We kind of need to mention the Dragon Queen as well. Could provide outstanding support for Illidan, despite all the odds and despite all those difficulties that he might find himself with. I think Loktar might have, well, Dancing says it's a bug, and definitely not talking about a new Brack.
Interesting. I mean, there's a Locust, there's Avatha. That's sort of buggy. Okay, well, we'll see what's going on there. Potentially, we might have a lobby restart if that does happen. But we did actually see very quickly a slight view of the Spike Burst coming in for the Abathur. Exactly as we predicted, it's the better build for Illidan, as Illidan's always more stuck in, so the shield never gets as much value. The shield works much better, shield build at least, for heroes like Tracer, who dances in and out of the fight, who can get the shield to keep her sustained.
Yeah, Genji, all those mobile, kiting heroes, as you said wonderfully. All those sticky targets, like an Illidan, for example, who will find himself in melee range, who will oftentimes be, outnumbered and surrounded. That shield is going to get burst too quickly for him to really benefit off the healing it provides. So yeah, I basically, yep.
You can actually adjust that build where you have the choice of, if you have a composition where you need the attack speed, then obviously Adrenal Overload works. We can actually mix the builds by going for Spike Burst level 1 and then going for the extra shields, the improved Carapace, I think it's called, at level 4. Sustained Carapace, that's the one. So you can, which doesn't just keep the shield on after you cancel it, which is like the main part of the heal build. It also gives you a bit of bonus shielding. So actually, in terms of keeping someone alive, that build is best. But when you're with someone, so that's for someone like a Sonya or something like that. But when you're with an Illidan, Illidan's attack speed also affects his auto attacks, also affect his abilities, which are his main survivability and a big chunk of his damage. So therefore, Adrenal Overload is usually going to be the choice.
Yeah, and then of course, We're going to see the additional support coming in from Alexstrasza, you know, maybe allowing him to go in a little deeper, especially with Cleansing Flame. I think Alexstrasza has a really strong tool to follow Illidan wherever he goes. Oftentimes, a problem of Illidan players is that their supports can reach him, right? That is why Malfurion oftentimes is a pretty solid choice, not only in terms of, you know, them being best brothers for life, not really according to the lore, but his heal is pretty much independent from range. So is the Cleansing Flame. You can just follow Illidan wherever he goes with strong burst healing as well.
I'm going to be honest. This has to be a PvE. I mean, look at this. Anti-heal blinds, attack speed, slow stuns. This is the worst possible draft to fight with an Illidan. You just don't. If A-Team do this, then this is going to be a short game.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Like, they need to have that strong 3-man unit, I guess, with Abathur in the mix as well as the game continues, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, they're going to have a strong rotation with those guys. They're going to have to play the mercenary game and allow Illidan, as we said, to tear down those structures.
For now, though, they start him off in the mid lane, just cleaning out the minions. Standard start. We're sticking with Bastard Assaults. That concerns me, because that means no immolation, which means less split push potential.
Yeah, even the Unending Hatred would have actually benefited him a little more in that split pushing style, right? You know, getting more basic attack damage allows you to take down towers and forts down more quickly. But yeah, let's see what they have in store for us. Li Ming, by the way, going for the power hungry, as she should be. Whenever there's no enemy mage, whenever there's no long distance poke available, you should definitely go for that additional damage. And only sometimes when there's heroes like, let's say, Chromie or Kel'Thuzad, Jaina, then the Force Armor can actually give you some value.
And no one ever picks the other two.
No.
Although Aether Walker full teleport build is very amusing. You actually do move faster than mount speed with that build if you go for Illusionist and Aether Walker. Sorry, it's Aether Walker, isn't it? As a build. If you then take Diamond Skin, you're moving at faster than mount speed around the map with a constant shield. You're basically impossible to gank. It's pretty funny, but it's pretty useless when it comes around to a team fight.
And look at that A-Team mercenary clear speed. They're not even afraid to invade and take, or at least attempt to take, the mercenary camp of BTG. Here comes Illidan already forcing away the Rainer, dodging the Howling Blast there as well from Arthas. And I think this is a strong position for the A-Team already, but look at Loktar. He's hiding. He's not giving away his position yet. Now he's trying to threaten the backline a little bit.
Well, good stun by HGC, trying to deny the escape of Bruiser, but Bruiser, won't escape. Nice kills using the charge strikes of Cassia.
Yeah, so the idea behind this invade, of course, was also not only to necessarily, you know, potentially stealing away the mercenary camp, but also to buy Abathur a little bit of time so he can double soak. Unfortunately, he wasn't really doing it. He kept his body hidden behind the walls, and he was also helping Illidan in most of that team fight duration. So limited value by the A-Team, to say the least. If you look at the experience count, actually, it wasn't worth it at all.
Spear lands, a little bit of damage onto Olele, but not enough. As they just clean up in the bit, clean up around that fort, that bell tower. And with this BTG, with that fight, they got their Merc camp. They're able to get a just under a full level lead. This is looking like a very good start for them. We are seeing Abathur, by the way, going with a more standard Illidan build and taking that Adrenal Overload. Not going to go for that shield, which could potentially be applied to the, someone like the Li Ming as well.
Oh, an easy early... oh my goodness, where did I... You know, Alexstrasza die. LLK apparently getting that kill on Cassia. He is always one of those players that can single-handedly make all the difference here. Eats Cook getting caught by the Howling Blast, gets to safety though. And we also have to mention, of course, something that we haven't really talked about earlier, Tetcher. The beautiful, 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 beautiful synergy between Arthas and Raynor. The constant slows with that ace in the hole. Yep. It's gonna be a nightmare for heroes like Li Ming or Alexstrasza to actually keep themselves sustained.
It's a classic. It is a classic, and right now Arthas is gaining all them stacks, which means he might get that increased duration on the chill, the lingering chill, as it were. Needs to survive though. Self-Q, not even needed. Tower, and nice wrecking kill by Dancing. Easy there.
Sometimes when Arthas and other heroes escape like that, you're starting to question yourself as a player. You're starting to question yourself, am I destined to lose this game? That would have been a kill in almost any given case, but not today. And for the A-Team right now, they need to stabilize. They need to not let their hopes sink and not let their guard down. Trying to maybe go for a Lele, sorry, for LLK here. Oh no, but every ability misses. BTG is just too aware.
They are holding it for now. Bruiser comes in. LLK taking a little bit of damage. Good stun by Muradin. A nice burst of light though by LLK, but he's still finally going to be taken out. Numbers advantage going over to the A-Team.
The healing reduction on Eatskook needs to be a little bit careful here. Druid tries the best he can to keep himself alive here, but the onslaught is too much to handle. Olele got yet another kill here, got the resets as well. And just when we counted them out here a little bit, the A-Team is going for 2 strong kills. Those kills are nice and all. They give them the altar, but they won't make them come back in experience right now because we had Locktar just double soaking like a champion.
This will help though, assuming they can get it. Arthas will land the root, but the camp is taken. Assuming Eastcook and Bruiser are able to back up, they should be able to channel this. Locktar though is going to try and deny it. Stun. Oh, right on the edge. Good job, Locktar, using that extra range loudspeaker value.
Really solid, and talent that I think also got a lot of value in this situation was the slowing Toxicness here by Abathur. It slowed down ETC for so long that he was not able to reach his teammates in time. However, the altar still went over to BTG. Interesting.
Yeah, the A-Team back up. They were in a bit of a choke point. They'd already used Dragon Queen. They don't have the ability for the Abathur clone yet. Obviously, level 10 Ultimate Evolution. So they decided to play a little bit more passively. Now they're playing a bit more aggressively because they have a little bit of a better angle for a fight. Bruiser might still fall though. One more Lightning Javelin. Oh, does not land. But Muradin still taken out in the backline.
Yeah, and Alexstrasza is on the run right now. She didn't get the slow off her flame of the E because it was only the first stack applied. And as a result, without that slow at her side, the enemies are going to be able to close in and take her out. And after a really strong moment there, the A-Team yet again on the back foot here. Olele needs to run. Dancing is trying to have a dance with Li Ming. And trust me, if you're Li Ming, you don't want to dance with Jimmy. You don't want to.
Yeah, he's not got a good two-step. He at any point just steps on your toes. But for now though, he has been stepping on many toes this game, and as such it's 5 kills to 2 in favor of BTG. As we see Arthas holding his heroic, and I've just got to say, just don't...
Honestly? Just do it. Go for the Syndragosa.
Why?
Because why not? You're already so far ahead. You're going to get even more lockdown.
That serve? You can't use it to rush a core. You can't just blast through a keep with it and then go for a core. It's just going to die and respawn it. Now you have a 120-second cooldown ability that is going to get you a bell tower that you can get anyway with just good push potential. So he does, in fact, go for the Army of the Dead.
I call that no balls. I call that very weak performance by Arthas. I would have loved to see the Syndragosa in play. I'm pretty sure chat is going to agree with me.
I call it wanting to win the game. As BTG move in to defend the aggressive position as they're going to go for the double channel here. Olele will get a delay, at least the first time. Guru moves into position to prevent the second delay. And unless Muradin can get lucky, no, they're just going to take the double channel. Yeah. And that is going to be a huge amount of damage onto the A-Team's core.
Now, Tetra, I know you've got a little more time available on the on Towers of Doom, right? To make that comeback happen, your core can't be rushed out immediately, as you just said. But I think even now, even then, the A-Team is running out of time here. 18 health already after only 8 minutes into the game. Only 4 damage on the core of BTG. And they're going to have to show us some good team fighting relatively soon. Bruiser going in very aggressively, actually. The anti-healing goes through. Yeah. He is super deep in now. Correct. That might have been television, my friend.
And here comes the stage dive as well for good measure. Cleansing Flame is just used because see you later, guys. Gonna try and save Li Ming, but not even close. And that is pure decimation coming in here. Yitzcook will back up. Devastation, sorry, decimation's different. And they move into the defensive positions because there's currently a 18 health. Hang on, I can maths. Yeah, there is an 18 health lead currently for BTG.
Now, I'm not sure what the communication looked like there, or sounded like, I should say, on the comms of the A-Team. Maybe Bruiser was expecting the Cleansing Flame earlier, and that's why he went in so deeply, or he just didn't listen to the back pings or the back calls of his teammates. But that looked a little odd, and that looked exactly like the Illidan's you really try to do not get in your own Hero League games.
Yep. Yitzcook tries to hold the line. Dragon Queen also being dropped. This is potentially their last chance to take a normal fight. The anti-healing's already been used. As such, Bruiser is currently surviving through this. No ultimate evolution used. Sappers are prevented from going in. Abathur is currently soaking top as we see the double altar coming up, with bot lane still under the control of BTG, so they're likely looking for another 10 here. They will already channel bot. It looks like they might even be willing to give up mid, but they are moving into a position where they can try and duel for it.
Yeah, the bell tower is still available in the bottom for BTG, so that was another juicy 5 shots here. And without that level 13 talent, I don't think the A-team wants to have this fight here anytime soon. Now, Bruiser getting slowed by Arthas. The holding plant connects as well. However, not enough lockdown available. Instead, they're defending the bottom bell tower, which is a move that I like.
Okay, moves back sensibly. He could still die from where he is. There we go. That's more like it. So into a more safer position. Bot bell tower is held for the moment with 8 health on the core. Boss available. So next altar plus boss or next double altar phase is potentially lights out for the A-team.
Yeah.
We have not seen a single ultimate evolution all game, Kendrick.
We also haven't really seen a good metamorphosis. It's like we haven't really seen the A-team as a whole up to this point.
That's true.
Because all they do is run away, run past BTG, whatever you want to call it, and as we said, there were so many Illidan encounters. He's basically a non-existent factor in this game, a complete zero. Let's see if they can maybe catch someone here right now. Oh boy.
Bruiser survives. Yeetskook also survives. Gets rooted. Finally an ultimate Evo on the Muradin because one tank's low. Why not have another one? Dives in with that. Bruiser is in the backline trying to cause some chaos. Gets blinded. Metamorphosis will cancel that. Gets away from the ball lightning, but LK goes down and LLK is able to pick up the kill. Down goes the real Muradin as well. And that is a free boss going over to BTG.
Free boss, and look at Abathur. He's trying his hardest to finally capture back that bell tower, but there's only so much one slug can do. If only they had a different hero, let's say like a Graven or a Sonya, that would have gone so much faster, obviously. And with a triple altar placement Tetra, I think this is almost a guaranteed lights out. 4 health left. Either of those temples is going to be game over for the A-team. And how are they going to be at all places at the same time? How are they going to do it?
It's going to be hard. It's going to be very difficult as Druid begins to channel. Good power slide onto Olele. Interrupt with it. It's going to be great. Abathur is going to get killed in bot lane. And with that, that is a guaranteed cap. Muradin cannot defend this alone. And we will probably see the delay. Actually, well, the fight continues. Stugos will die here. Illidan is, yeah, good luck. Just get taken out behind the barn, and Illidan goes down. And that is going to be all 3 channeled, because there is no kill quite like overkill. And that is BTG taking game number 2 and holding on to their lead at the top of the table.
Observer, by the way, MVP. We didn't miss a single kill. He caught them all, so well done to him or her. We don't even know who's observing in China, by the way. So good stuff coming in for BTG. Just another day in the office, it seems. Yep, we're going to take that A-team down, and I think at the very latest by now, we have to say that Illidan for the A-team doesn't always seem to be the solution. True, they did have those good days and good games in the past, but to just always go for it when things look sour, it's just too predictable, and they got countered so hard